What it do, man? Welcome to Elementary Stories, man. This book one, chapter one. Let's get into it, dog. So first off, we're gonna start this whole series off. The whole series, like with all the stuff I'm trying to upload, we're gonna start this off by saying I just felt like this is a good way for people to learn a little bit more about me, because I feel like a lot of people know me, but it's some stories that I feel like I just haven't told that I want to tell. So like, there's a lot of shit that happened in my life, but I feel like we're gonna start the elementary stories, man, with just two stories. You know, it's other stuff that happened in elementary, but right now, with just book one, chapter one, man, we're gonna start with two stories, man. And this just mainly the stories focusing on why I'm usually so quiet for the most part. So I feel like these kind of changed me. Like I felt like I didn't want to talk no more. So we're gonna start this book off with that. So let's get into the first story, man. I was in probably about second, third grade, maybe. You know, we gonna give everybody code names because, you know, y'all don't need to know who I know. You feel these not people y'all know. Maybe y'all might know them. If y'all know me, y'all might know them, you know, but y'all don't need to know all that. You feel me? So we just not gonna talk about that. So we gonna start the first story, man. Like I said, I was in like second, third grade, maybe. And you know, usually when you in elementary school, you only got like a couple of classes that you're gonna go to, so you're gonna see the same teachers just about every single day. I mean, that's every school pretty much, but elementary school, you know, it feels different because it's like you literally see the same people every day. Like it's no different days, you just see the same people every day. So in the elementary school, like I said, second, third grade. Now I will tell y'all what school I went to. No, I'm not. The school was in DC though. That's all y'all need to know. Y'all need to know nothing else. It was in DC. And this specific day, right? It felt like this teacher I had was just out to get me for some reason, man. So, we gonna call her. I don't even know. I was gonna say Miss W, but then like it's so many generic W names. I mean, her name wasn't generic, so I guess I could. Yeah, we just gonna stick with Miss W, man. That was matter of fact DW. We gonna call her DW. That's her nickname for the story. Gonna call her DW, man. But look. DW, like I said, I feel like this day she was just out to get me for some reason, man. I don't know what I did to this lady, but she was out to get me. So, the day before this day that I'm speaking of, we got a homework assignment, right? And the homework assignment was to take the whole alphabet and find a household item or a brand in your house that starts with that specific letter of the alphabet. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, this easy. Young me, I was smart. Older me, get in there. You feel me? No, I'm trying to do the knowledge, man. But no, some real shit. This day, you know, like I said, we got this homework assignment. So I'm all around the house like, all right, cool, this easy, you know, I'm about to get this homework done, I'm about to go outside, go chill with the boys, probably play my PS2, you know, Tenkaichi 2 was out, you feel me? So I'm like, I'm about to log in, you know what I'm saying? So this specific day, I go through the whole crib, finding all of this stuff. So I get to the letter V, and you know, it's not too many things that start with the letter V. So I'm like, okay, I gotta find me something. So at first, I'm thinking maybe a VCR, you know, like a VCR tape. I'm like, maybe this will work. But no. I was like, I see a TV, and the TV says Vizio. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it. But I seen the TV, and I'm like, hey, this TV say Vizio. I'm like, I'm gonna use that because it's right here. So I write it down on my paper, finish my homework up, tell my grandma, tell my mother, like, hey, I finished my homework. I'm about to go outside. I go outside, chill with the homies. Come back in the house, you know, I done ate good dinner. I don't remember what I ate, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I done ate and everything, you know, and I just go to chill, because I'm like, hey, I got school tomorrow, so I lay down, I start chilling. Alright, and now this is where the problem comes in. The following day, right? So, I get to school, and, you know, this is my first little classroom of the day or whatever. I get to school, my homeroom, I should say. I feel like that's a better way to explain that. My homeroom, so I get there, I'm like, cool, I'm ready to turn this homework assignment in, because I'm like, shit, I know I did good on this, you know what I'm saying? I done went through the whole crib, I was naming everything, you feel? I know I did good, you feel? I know I did good. So, I go into class, and I turn my homework in. So, as they grade my homework, because they grade all the homework on the spot, you know, right after we turn it in. They grade my homework. Like I said, DW, she the one grading my assignment because we got 2 teachers in our classroom, but DW is the one grading my assignment. So DW gets my assignment when I show her my paper, and DW proceeds to say, "Oh yeah, hey, for the letter V, this isn't an actual object. This isn't an actual brand or anything. You just made something up." So if y'all could have seen the look on my face, on young me's face, I was very baffled because I know, like I said, I was a very smart young whippersnapper. You know what I'm saying? I was a smart lad, and I know for sure that the one thing that I could do was read. So I seen this TV in my house every day because this is the TV that I played my PlayStation on. So I see this TV every single day. And this lady looked me dead in my face and said, "This is not a real brand." So I'm like, ma'am, this is a real brand. I have this TV in my house. It's a TV brand. This lady then again proceeds to tell me this is not a real brand and proceeds to take the point off of my homework and tells me that it's not complete and that I need to redo my whole entire homework assignment. Nigga, what? So like I said, I'm just looking at this lady so confused, bro, because now that you said that, I'm like, who the hell is doing that? I'm not about to sit right here and spend more of my time to go do my homework again when I know this shit is in fact right. So I asked her, I'm like, hey, can you call my grandma to verify because she can verify that it's a real brand? So this lady says, yeah, I can, but I know it's not a real brand. That's not a real brand. So then she proceeds to call my grandmother, and my grandmother and my mother verifies that the TV does in fact say Vizio. And then guess what this lady proceeds to do? She hands me back my homework paper that she just said was incorrect. She corrected it, but did not apologize for trying to tell me I was wrong, bruh. So I had to sit here and argue with this lady about my homework assignment because I was always good with my grades, dog, and she was about to fuck my grade up because she thought some shit was wrong. So, like I said, this just the first part of that day because this lady was just out to get me that day, bro. Like, I don't know what it was, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what was going on with her this day. So after the homework shit, right? Cool. It is what it is now. You know, she done already tried to say my homework is wrong. Cool, whatever. Boom. So after lunch, we was at recess and I got in trouble. I'm not gonna lie, I got in trouble. This is on me. I was out there at recess being ignorant. So I get in trouble. Boom. I got a target on my back. Cool, whatever. I'm in trouble. This lady, DW. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, DW is her nickname. I was in the hallway walking back to class, and it was like this little fan. So the fan, y'all know the big industrial fans or whatever. Cool. It didn't have the cover on it, so the blades was open, but it was like a metal part in like the middle of the fan. So I was just like, I just want to touch it to like. That sounded crazy. Pause. That. I'm keeping this in the video, but look. I like the metal part in the middle of the industrial fans, right? I just want to touch it because it's like, you know, I just wanted to see my finger spin around the fan or whatever without touching the blade because I knew I couldn't hurt myself that way. I was just going to watch my finger spin around the little middle part. So I go to touch the middle part of the fan where the metal was just to watch my finger spin around. And this is where I fucked up because when I did that, DW sees me. And when DW sees me, the first thing that she says is, he's trying to cut his finger off. He's trying to hurt himself. Ma'am, you just seen me. I am not trying to cut my finger off. I get you want to protect the kids. You got to make sure the kids is protected because, you know, if anything happened to the kids while they was under your care, the parents going to be mad, all that good stuff. I'm not trying to cut my finger off. Why in the hell would I be trying to cut my damn finger off on this fan if I clearly was nowhere near the goddamn blades? Why would you tell these people I'm trying to cut my finger off? Now they done called my grandmother and done told my grandmother I'm up here trying to cut my finger off and that I'm being disruptive and all this other stuff. After we just got off the phone because of the other thing with my homework right before recess and because I got in trouble. Now they think I'm trying to cut my finger off, man. So I was like, dog, this lady was just out to get me today. Like, I swear, that day, I don't know what she had going on, man. Like, I don't know if I gave her a losing parlay in her dream or what, dog. But she was mad as hell at me. I don't know what I did, man. But I apologized to that lady. I don't know what I did. I'm sorry. But I just had to get that story off my chest, man. That's just one of the stories, though. That lady was out to get me, bro. She never apologized. Like, my whole school year, she ain't never say sorry or nothing for what she did, bro. She just started telling people how she always knew that I was a smart child and all this other stuff. A bunch of bullshit. You didn't apologize for none of the other shit, and you trying to say I was wrong and all that. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Fuck it. We gonna move on. You know what I'm saying? Now, story number 2. I'm gonna try to make this one a little shorter. Try. Story number 2, dog. We gonna just get straight into story number 2, dog. No break, no pause. We straight into story number 2, man. Alright, so boom. Story number 2, man. This is, like I said, these 2 stories right here was just defining moments of why I became so quiet, man. Like, so I lied about some dumb shit that I didn't have to lie about, and I realized that I got myself in trouble, and I was just like, sometimes you just gotta be quiet. If you're not gonna tell the truth, just shut up. You feel me? That's the easiest way I can put it. Because I lied about something I have to lie about. So, boom. 4th grade, we go on this field trip. I'm just starting it off. We jumping straight into it because the field trip was kind of long. We go on this field trip, right? We at Six Flags, I believe. We go on this field trip. Nice little time. You know, I was bored on the bus ride. And I decided to take something along with me on the bus ride that I shouldn't have had. It was nothing like a weapon or nothing crazy like that, you know? Cause I just had to make that clear because I thought that's just crazy. So yeah, it's something I shouldn't have had. But we was on this bus ride, and specifically the day before we went on this field trip, my aunt and my mom, they had just bought me a Game Boy for like Christmas earlier within the year, or the year before. I don't know why I said within the year. This is a field trip during the summer. We was going to Six Flags, but they bought me a Game Boy for Christmas, and I decided that I wanted to take it upon myself, even though they told me specifically, don't take this Game Boy on this field trip. I took it upon myself to take my damn Game Boy on this field trip. And let me tell y'all why. I got good reason. Pokemon Crystal was out, dog. Pokemon Crystal was out. I wanted to play Pokemon Crystal. I took my Game Boy. I said, man, look, I'm going to play Pokemon Crystal one way or another. You know what I'm saying? So I take my Game Boy because I'm like, I'm going to play my Pokemon Crystal. I love Pokemon, dog. And if you know Crystal, then you know, dog. That's one of the best ones in the series. And you know, this is definitely undebatable. Crystal is one of the best Pokemon games. Argue with somebody else. But I'm playing Pokemon Crystal on this field trip, man. Having a good old time on the bus. Like I said, we going to Six Flags. So the only thing that I have with me on this trip to Six Flags is a little lunchbox because, you know, they're not paying for that expensive ass food in there. So I got my lunchbox. I got some little swim trunks on with pockets, and I got my Game Boy. And my Game Boy is in my lunch bag. That's how I snuck it on there and all that without my mother and them knowing. So Game Boy in the lunch bag, cool. I go on this field trip. And I'm gonna tell y'all where I fucked up at, right? I should have listened to them when they told me not to bring this thing. Because what ended up happening, right? We was getting off the bus, and I had to put my Game Boy up. And instead of me putting it back in my lunch bag, I put it in the pockets of the swim trunks. So this is already gonna tell y'all where this is leading to. You feel me? So my Game Boy in my pockets to my swim trunks. And you know at Six Flags they got Hurricane Harbor. So, you know, that's where all the swimming pools and stuff at. So we go over there and I get in the pool. I'm having a great time, having a blast in the water, playing and whatnot. And next thing I know, I feel something heavy weighing down my goddamn pocket, dog. So my first initial thought was, damn, what do I have in my pocket? Because I literally didn't know. Like I said, this is young me, so my memory was shot. You know, I'm just out here having fun, having a good time. I'm having fun. So I don't know what's in my pocket. I start to remember what I was specifically told not to bring to this field trip and what I brought. And then that's when it hit me. Hey, you was playing Pokemon Crystal before you got off the bus. So when I reached in my pocket, y'all, I seen my Game Boy drenched in water and probably kids pee. I don't know. You know, the kids was lighting them little pools up, man. I don't know. But I see my Game Boy, dog, and this junk is drenched, soaking wet, bruh. And I'm like, damn, because I didn't know what to do at this point. I didn't know nothing about no rice, nothing like that. I didn't know what to do. So I just take it and put it in my lunch bag, and you know, I just try to enjoy the rest of my field trip, awaiting what's gonna happen when I get home. So the trip ends, you know, and I go back home. I had to laugh before I get this part of the story out. So the trip ends, go back home, and what I tried to do for some reason is leave my Game Boy outside in the yard, so that way it could just be out there and I could just act like I lost it or it dropped outside somewhere. And while my Game Boy is out there, my mother and my aunt was doing yard work like a couple days later, and they find it. And the first thing they asked me is like, hey, why is your Game Boy outside? And I'm just like, oh yeah, I lost it. You know, I don't know what happened. I lost it. I've been looking for it. Mind y'all, I buried this shit behind some plants and some more stuff. How did I lose it behind plants? And the plants is right next to the porch. So there's no possible way that I could have lost this right next to the porch. Like, if it was somewhere farther away, maybe I could have got away with the lie. Maybe. It's right next to the porch. So after I told them that, they like, okay. They opened it up and showed me the water inside of it. And I said, God damn, I'm cooked. The whole screen was filled with straight water and bubbles, y'all. I didn't know what to do at that point. I was like, yeah, I'm cooked, man. Like, I don't even know why I lied. And I tried so hard. I tried so hard to get away with that lie, man. It just didn't work out for me, man. I got torn a new one. That's the only way I'm gonna put that. I got my ass whooped, bro. Like, I don't think I ever seen another Game Boy for a couple years after that. Like, it was a minute. It was a good minute, bro. That was probably one of the worst ass whoopings I ever got in my damn life. But I will tell y'all, it was worth it to play Pokemon Crystal. I'm not gonna lie, it was worth it. I don't care, it was worth it. But that's it, man. That's all I got for these two stories. Like I said, I'm gonna try to upload every Wednesday. This is just a book 1, chapter 1 of the elementary stories, man. Next story is probably gonna be about my first fight, because I feel like I just gotta tell y'all that story because it's the funniest shit ever, man. I laugh every time I tell somebody that story about my first fight. I die laughing because it's so funny, bro. But that's it. That's all I got for y'all right now, man. Hope y'all enjoy these little stories, man. We're gonna try to stay consistent. Like I said, every Wednesday I'm gonna try to post, so when y'all see this next Wednesday, it should be another video. I'm holding myself accountable this year, man. So that's it, man. That's all I got, man. Hope y'all enjoy y'all day, all that good shit, man. Peace.